What is up, guys? Welcome to my video. I'm the Fortnite guy and I love Fortnite esports. If you do too, be sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe to my channel for similar content like this, and now let's go ahead and hop into it. So today we are talking about the top 5 duos in all of Fortnite. Now for my list specifically, we're looking at tournament play only. I am not going to be taking in consideration regular games from just streams or pubs, because in my opinion, those don't matter as much because most of the time you're not going up against really good players. As for the Friday night Keemstar tournaments, which is the one we're going to be looking at, there is plenty of competition with some of the best players in the entire world. So that is mainly what my list is going to be based off of. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this. So actually, it's going to be a top 6 list. I know the title says top 5, but these 6 duos had to be on this list no matter what. So starting off with rank number 6, we have NickMercs and Cypher PK. Now I'm sure most of you guys know who these two players are. NickMercs, widely considered the best console player by pretty much everybody, and he is also considered the only console player who can go head to head with top PC players. His partner, Cypher PK, I'm sure most of you know who he is as well. He is a professional player signed under Luminosity Gaming. Now these two have had pretty good success in the Friday Fortnite tournament. They've played in all 3 of them. They actually won week 1, where they took out some very strong duos, one being Jay and Avery, and the other one being Typical Gamer and Thief, who ended up winning week 2. So a very strong performance in week 1 definitely helps them on this list. Going into week 2, they were looking to go back to back, but unfortunately that did not happen. In the first round, they lost to Jay and Avery, who they beat in the finals last week, so not that bad, but in the first round of the losers bracket, they also lost to Teep and Courage. So getting dead last place in second week definitely hurts them there and is a big reason why they aren't higher on this list. Moving into week 3 though, they did come back and have a much better performance. They even beat TSM Myth and Hamlin in the second round of the winners bracket, but then ended up losing to KingRichard and Ninja. Then eventually the TSM guys got revenge in the losers bracket through 6th in week 3. So NickMercs and Cypher PK, they've overall had pretty good performances. With some hiccups here and there, that is why they're at rank 6. Now moving on to rank number 5, we have Typical Gamer and Sore Thief. If you don't know who Typical Gamer is, he is a YouTube streamer. He's very good at the game. He's not professionally signed under a team, but he's definitely at that level. Moving on to Thief, he is also a streamer, not signed professionally to a team, but is definitely at that level as well. They've also played in all 3 weeks, and in the first week, they actually lost to NickMercs and Cypher PK 2 times, once in the winners bracket and once in the losers bracket, placing 7th through 8th in the first week. Now I know you're saying, well, if they lost to NickMercs and Cypher PK, how on earth are they above them? Well, the reason I put them above them was because of their week 2 performance in Friday Fortnite. They not only beat Ninja and KingRichard, they also beat Daquan and Hamlins 2 times in a row to become the week 2 champions. Now if that's not an incredible feat, I don't know what is, and also considering they've won 1 of 3 tournaments, you gotta put them this high. Now moving on to rank 4, we have Ninja and KingRichard. Now I'll be honest, this might be a little bit biased, and considering their performances, they probably don't deserve to be this high, and maybe Typical Gamer and Sore Thief should be above them. But the main reason I am putting them at rank 4 is because Ninja has been fantastic in these tournaments. And I know it's not an individual tournament, it is duos, but honestly Ninja has been pretty much the overall best individual performer out of any player in this tournament, maybe rivaled by Tfue and Cloaksy, but he's 100% up there. If it wasn't for KingRichard dropping the ball most of the time in these big matches, Ninja and KingRichard would probably have won 2 weeks in a row. They didn't have the best showing in the second week. They placed 5th through 6th, not really beating anybody notable, and losing to Tfue and Cloaksy. This is where we saw that amazing run by Ninja, where he got 20 plus kills to save the day, but still ended up losing that series. Moving on to week 3 though, they did have a better performance. They were able to beat Nick and Cypher, who won week 1, and then they also beat Noah and Avery, who have been really good consistent performers in these tournaments. So for that reason, Ninja and KingRichard are sitting at rank 4. Moving on to rank 3, we do have Jay, 456, and Avery. Now these two have been the biggest surprise to me. Consistently, 3 weeks in a row, they have had the best performances out of anybody. Now the reason they're really surprising is because they're just YouTubers. I don't think either of them really have aspirations to become pros. They're literally just big Fortnite and gaming YouTubers. And because of that, it's just really surprising seeing them be able to beat some of the best players in the entire world, professional ones, players that practice this game all day long to win these tournaments. But they come together and they create such a good duo. Week 1, they had a great run. They went all the way to the finals where they lost to Nick, Mercs, and Cypher. And then in week 2, this is where they really popped off. In the first round, they got matched up against Nick and Cypher PK, who they lost to in the finals last week, and they got their revenge, knocking Nick and Cypher down to the losers bracket. Then they went on to face Tfue and Cloaks in the winners bracket, and they knocked Tfue and Cloaks out from FAZE. That is a huge win for them, especially considering Tfue and Cloaks are two of the best players in the entire world and probably one of the best duos. We'll have to find out later in this list. They ended up placing 3rd in week 2, and then moving on to week 3, which is incredible, they got put up against Typical Gamer and Sore Thief in the first round, who had just won week 2. So this is the second week in a row where Noah and Avery were placed up against the winners of the previous week in the first round, and they beat them. Noah, Jay, and Avery are also the only duo on this list to have beaten every single duo who has won a tournament. They beat Nick and Cypher PK, who won week 1. They then beat Typical Gamer and Thief, who won week 2. And then they beat Tfue and Cloaks, who won week 3. Also placing 2nd, 3rd, and 3rd in all 3 weeks. They are the most consistent duo out of anybody. I wanted to put them higher, but I just couldn't put them above the next duo, which is kind of a trio actually. It's going to be Hamlins, Daquan, and Myth from TSM. Now, they didn't play in the first week, but they did play in the second week. It was Hamlins and Daquan, where they actually did beat Noah and Avery 2 times in a row. So this is the main reason they're above Noah and Avery. And then in week 3, Hamlins and Myth were also able to beat FaZe, Cloaksy, and Tfue, as well as Nick, Mercs, and Cypher PK. And you might be wondering, well, damn, if TSM beat FaZe, they beat Noah, they beat Nick, Mercs, and Cypher PK, how are they not number 1? Well, because they were able to beat FaZe, Cloaksy, and Tfue in the winners bracket, but once they got knocked down to the losers bracket and had to rematch them, FaZe, Cloaksy, and Tfue absolutely shut them down. And that is exactly why Tfue and Cloaksy from FaZe are the rank 1 duo in the world right now. Now yeah, TSM did beat them in the first round of week 3, but what FaZe, Cloaksy, and Tfue did after losing to TSM in the first round was incredible. They went down to the losers bracket and beat everybody in their way. And eventually they got their rematch against TSM and they knocked them out in an amazing performance. After that, they faced Noah and Avery, knocked them out, moving them on to the finals, facing Ninja and KingRichard, where they took this in an absolute stomp. After losing to TSM in the first round, these guys didn't have one close match. They literally dominated everybody in their way, and that is why Cloaksy and Tfue are sitting at number 1 on my list. So that's going to wrap this list up, guys. Let me know down below in the comments who you think the best duos in the world are. Obviously, we're not going to agree, and that's what makes this really fun. Be sure to drop a like on this video. Be sure to subscribe for more content related to this, and I'll see you guys another time. Thank you for watching. Peace.